everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you know what we do and you know how we do it. Yes, we do our super thanks first. And I am going to roll that beautiful bean footage. All right, y'all, I want to give a quick thanks to all of the readers who decided to come on through and support the channel. Y'all mean everything. Y'all do, and I appreciate you so very much. And first up is my girl, the one and only Ulette. Yes, Ulette just keeps on coming. She is absolutely the most faithful, the kindest, the sweetest. She is just everything. And I am so blessed to have her as a part of this tribe. So thank you, Ulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here and being a part of our community. And my girl Jennifer Clark came through. Yes, Jennifer has been with me just about since the beginning, and she never wavers. She never wavers in her support of the read. She is a ride or die, always coming through, always being a part of the conversation in the comments. She is just everything. So thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for coming through. And most of all, thank you for being a part of our tribe. And the coolest, yes, the coolest came through. Cool Cat Harlem. Yes, she made her presence known. Cat is just so cool. She is just so witty and kind and just wise. She is so wise and she is the coolest. She is. So thank you, Cat. Thank you for coming through. But most of all, thank you for being here and being a part of our tribe. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, we have things to talk about. As usual, we always have something to talk about. But we're going to do things a little different on this podcast. I'm not going to do a long intro like I usually do because this podcast doesn't really have a theme. It is just a lot of different topics and a lot of different things that I found on these internet streets that I just want to talk about. So I'm not going to do an intro. We just going to jump right in and we're going to start with this. And I'm starting with this post because when I saw it, I knew it had to be a part of this podcast. Why? Because it's so doggone cute. And it features our Duchess, yes, Megan, in these throwback pictures looking cute as a button with her Girl Scout troop. Yes, and it is just such a full circle moment. Here's Megan as a brownie out with her troop. And fast forward to today, she is the executive producer of Cookie Queens. Yes, a documentary about the Girl Scouts and cookie selling season. How much more perfect could that be? And such a full circle moment. The squatty that posted this said, Megan, the Duchess of Sussex, it is said that girls with dreams become women with vision. May we empower each other to carry out such vision. Because it isn't enough to simply talk about equality, one must believe in it. And it isn't enough to simply believe in it. And then it continues, but this particular squatty did not put the whole quote, but that part that says, it is said girls with dreams become women with vision. Megan has lived that, has she not? And these throwback pictures of Megan and her troop is just absolutely the cutest. I cannot wait for Lily to become a brownie. You know she is. You know she will be a brownie. And I also wanted to share this throwback picture of Mama Doria and her troop. Yes, this squatty posted it and said Megan's own history with the Girl Scouts, where her mom, Doria Ragland, served as her troop leader, inspired her to get involved with Cookie Queens, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in January, and it is set to hit theaters on August the 7th. Toria is so beautiful and so inspirational to her daughter. And if you don't think that Doria had a huge influence on Megan, look at the other Markle children. Look at Scammy. She even tried to take credit for Megan, saying that she raised Megan. Y'all remember that? And her own children really found that funny because they say that she didn't even raise them and didn't even have any kind of relationship with Megan, didn't even talk to her until she found out that Megan was dating Prince Harry. Look at Thomas Markle Jr. in and out of jail and has been arrested I don't even know how many times for domestic violence. Neither one of them have any kind of relationship with their children. Scammy's children don't want to have anything to do with her, and Thomas Markle Jr.'s children, they hate him. Allegedly, they don't want to have anything to do with him. Y'all remember when, I think it was ITV or I can't remember which one of the news channels at the time of Meghan's wedding was bringing Thomas Markle Jr.'s children and his ex-wife across the pond to be commentators for Megan's wedding. Y'all remember that? And they had to stop those hillbillies at the airport. I mean, it was like the Clampetts were in town. Now, I don't know whose cooler heads prevailed, but they stopped them at the airport and would not put them on air. See what they wanted to do? They wanted to embarrass Megan. But then cooler heads started to understand that not only would it embarrass Megan, it also would embarrass that family. And so they put the kibosh on them being commentators at Megan's wedding. And then in return, talked about them like dogs, saying that they showed up with all that mismatched luggage. Now, I'm laughing now, but at the time I didn't find none of it funny. I was hotter than a teapot about how they were doing Harry and Meghan around their wedding. Now, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I know now, but I know I was hot. I know I was mad. But I digress. But look at Meghan. Megan is a multimillionaire, the only woman to ever marry into that family with that kind of status. Megan graduated from a prestigious college, Northwestern, as a double major. Megan worked for the U.S. Embassy in Argentina. She speaks 3 languages fluently. She was a successful actress, and she has always been a humanitarian, working with World Vision, being a global ambassador, going to these small villages in Africa, helping them to build water wells in order for them to have clean water. And Megan spoke at the UN prior to even thinking about meeting Harry. This is who Megan is, and this is the daughter that Doria raised. They tried to give Thomas Markle Sr. all the credit for Megan's achievements. And y'all remember they gave him all the praise and then lied on Doria and said Doria was in prison while Thomas Markle Sr. was a single parent raising Meghan. You see how that racist media over there across the pond is, and how they push their racist narrative. You see how they push that narrative, that stereotype, making Meghan's black parent a criminal, and then in return making her white parent a single father and successful lighting director. Yes, do you see how that went? And as time has gone by, it has proven that Meghan was raised by her mother and influenced by her mother and continues to be influenced by her mother, not her father, because her father is a narcissist piece of trash. And that is not an agenda, that has been proven to be a fact. And this squatty said full circle and posted a picture of our little queen who grew into our big queen. Yes, Meghan is absolutely a woman with vision. When she was a little girl, I wonder what she thought she would grow up to be. I'm sure she has exceeded her dreams. What y'all think? I think so. But knowing Meghan, I don't know. She wanted to be president, probably. Who knows? Meghan never was one to think she had limitations. And we have another sellout. Yes, Meghan's blouse has sold out. And this squatty posted about it and said, sold out. Her Royal Highness Princess Meghan effect is real. Yes, everything that Meghan puts on her body sells out. How can she ever be broke? Meghan will never be broke because she has something that does nothing but make money for the people who work with her. She could absolutely sell ice to Eskimos. I'm just saying. And now I'm going to play y'all a clip. This is of a woman who has saw the movie Cookie Queens already. And she is just raving about it. And this is the kind of reviews that I take stock in, not someone who is being paid to trash everything. So I'm going to play this little clip and we'll talk on the other side.
I was given early access to watch Cookie Queens. It's a documentary on the Girl Scouts and basically their cookie selling season. Executive produced by Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And all I have to say is bravo. Something about watching confident little girls go after their dreams will always do something for me. Camera crews followed around the families on their cookie selling journey. One of the stories that impacted me greatly, because I'm from San Diego, this little girl's from San Diego, and she is diabetic. And there's no sugar-free Girl Scout cookie, and at the end of the documentary she's making her own sugar-free Girl Scout cookie. She had met this man along the way who was also diabetic, and she went back to his house and showed him the diabetic cookies. It was just like, we need diabetic cookies. What are we doing? I'm about to have an uproar over it. That's just one story. All of the girl stories are good. I could go on and on and on about each girl. That's how well done this documentary is. Comes out on August 7th. I would absolutely go see it. This is definitely a palate cleanser in terms of, we see so many negative documentaries and movies and TV shows that this is just not one of those. This is positive, and you see real and raw conversations these kids are having with their parents. You see a beautiful family dynamic with sisters and friends, and I can't say enough good things about this documentary. So everybody that worked on it, bravo. Such a well-made documentary.
And there you have it. Now, these are the kind of reviews that I listen to, that I look for. People who do not have a dog in the fight. Someone who is not pushing a negative narrative or a part of the smear campaign. People who are willing to be intellectually honest. Yes, and she absolutely laid out all the things about the movie that she loved. I am excited, y'all. I am excited because I have called it. I have called it from the beginning. I really feel that this is a Oscar-nominated documentary. Now, will it win? I think so. I think so. I am going all the way with my prediction. Yes, I cannot wait. I just want to see how far this little movie will go. Yes, it's the little engine that could. And I just believe it's going to go all the way. And I want to change gears now. I saw this post and I just wanted to share it as well. And this squatty said UK press and someone in the palace has become unhinged about the Spencers showing love for Prince Harry and Meghan by inviting them to stay at Althorp. UK press is using every nasty trick to try to stop Meghan from posting more pictures in the future of the lovely visit. I hope she posts more. And I agree. They have tried every trick in the book. They have picked these pictures apart and even resorted to lying. And it's all because how bad it makes the future king and queen Damazarot look. They look stiff. They look boring. They look inept. And they are. They absolutely are. And now I don't believe that it is Harry and Meghan's intent to show up the whales, but how can they not? Because when they're compared to Harry and Meghan, they look mediocre. They do. And on top of that, they do nothing but copy Harry and Meghan. So they're out there looking like the Temu version of the blueprint. And so now these flying monkeys know that they bet on the wrong team. And they're continuing to try to tear Harry and Meghan down to try to make something of what they have left. And like I said, that is the future king and queen dumb as a rock. But they just can't because Kitty and Willie are just not up to the task. They have to copy. They do not have an original idea between them. And that staff of theirs is so pathetic. They can't come up with anything either, except to enlist the flying monkeys to do everything that they can to tear everything that Harry and Meghan does apart. Are certain parts of the UK population having some kind of group hallucination? Apparently, the King, the Prince of Wales, and most of the British media and royalists are all upset, unsettled, and livid about a picture of Diana's gravesite that Meghan supposedly posted, but only they can see.
That's true.
No. It's not about a picture that Meghan supposedly posted of Diana's gravesite. No, because we know she never did that. It is about Archie walking bare feet at Althorp. It is about Lily being tossed in the air by Prince Harry. It is about those pictures and the stories that they tell about the Sussex family, that they're happy, that they're thriving, that they do not want to return to the United Kingdom as working royals. It is about Prince Harry and Meghan's summer and their family. It is about Prince Harry not allowing them to stop him and his family from visiting his mother's grave. But what really got Willie and the flying monkeys and the rest of that family all in their feels is when Harry chased their bubble down and popped it. You know the one that they created, that Harry absolutely was miserable and he wanted to return because royal life was better than anything outside of those gates. And when they got a load of what life is really like for Harry and Meghan and those babies, they were all jealous. Every one of them was jealous. Why? Because they could see that Harry and Meghan got the better of the deal and that their children are much, much more well adjusted and is living a better childhood. That money and status is not the end all and be all. And they cannot handle it because they have been taught all their lives that the aristocratic lifestyle is the best. And once they saw those pictures and saw how happy, how beautiful the Sussex family is, and they found out that they have been spoon fed a lie, that Harry and Meghan's life is so much better than the lives of the people living in all of those stuffy castles, and that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibeth is not missing anything. Because that's what they used to say. When Archie and Lilibeth become adults, they're going to be mad with Harry and Meghan because they wasn't raised within the royal family and got to experience everything that comes with being royal. But when Megan posted those pictures on her Instagram page and they really got a glimpse into how the Sussexes are living, they knew that that narrative was dead on arrival and that Harry and Meghan were right, that they had won and that they had the life that everyone within that family wished they had. It's not about that so called lie that they're telling that Megan posted a picture of Diana's gravesite. No, it is about all of the pictures and what they tell you about the Sussexes' lives. And I want to talk about this right here. This is an article that Kaiser wrote over there on celibacy. And y'all know her writing style is she writes an article about an article. And the article she's writing about in this particular article, it popped up in the mail. And what it is saying is not only did Harry and Meghan go to Althorp, and of course they was in Portugal, but they also went to Scotland. This is what it says. Mail. Prince Harry and Meghan took their kids to Scotland this month too. And when they're saying too, I think that has a double meaning. Meaning that they took the kids to Scotland and so did the whales. All of a sudden today, they popped up with their kids in Scotland at the Commonwealth Games. Very interesting. But it says last week the Duchess of Sussex posted Instagram carousel that brought down a nation. The carousel featured lovely pictures of Meghan's summer holiday with her family, including pics from the trip to Portugal and their stay at Althorp, the Spencer family ancestral home. There was a couple of photos that I struggled to place. I thought maybe all of the pool photos were from Montecito, and I guess that's the lovely scenic photo of a lake and Archie by the wooded areas were probably from Althorp. But as it turned out, the British media failed to see what was right in front of them. The Sussexes also spent time in Scotland this month. And what they're saying is that Harry and Meghan spent time with one of their friends, longtime friends, that lives in Scotland. Yes, the kids was in Scotland too. And you know what is coming next. They hadn't went to Balmoral. They hadn't been to Balmoral. Well, they hadn't been invited to Balmoral either. But yes, they've been to Scotland. How embarrassing for Charles, huh? He has not invited Harry and Meghan to Balmoral, but Harry and Meghan, they were in Scotland. I just love this. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I did not know. But it all comes out, does it not? And I want to post this because this squatty absolutely got together one of the trolls. I mean, she got her all the way together. And of course, I just had to share. Well, this troll's name is Think Beautiful, believe it or not. And they posted a picture of Lily and Harry and Archie walking up a path. And somehow this offended her. And she said this is exactly the reason why Meghan Markle wasn't allowed to go to Balmoral when the Queen passed. She would have taken pictures. Yes, this is the fake outrage, the hill that they have chose to die on. And let me tell you, like I said, this squatty got her all the way together. This squatty reposted what she said and then said, but the Queen had no issues with the biggest children sex trafficker in the world taking pictures in Balmoral. Laugh out loud. They can't do anything with squatties. Here you are talking about that's the reason Meghan wasn't invited to Balmoral when the Queen was dying. Well, the most prolific pedo in world history was invited to Balmoral when the Queen was alive. She wasn't dead. And she knew exactly who he was. And she knew exactly who her son was. And they still had the run of the place. Yeah, so get off your high horse because you no longer have the moral high ground. And speaking of Scotland, I knew something was up that the whole family showed up to the Commonwealth game. Yes, the Commonwealth Games that was being held in Scotland. It says in the Telegraph, George, Charlotte, and Louis makes first official visit to Scotland. Yes, and that all happened after the story came out in the Vale that the Sussex children had made a trip to Scotland. Now, I could say that that was a coincidence, but you know me, I don't believe in coincidences when it comes to that family over there. Everything is calculated, and this was calculated as well. Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think about this, but it's not surprising, is it? At least not to me. This squatty said about the picture below, the derangers, William and Kate are trolling Harry and Meghan. The reality, William and Kate are copying Harry and Meghan again, as always, and the derangers know that. They could have chosen to post any other picture, but they chose to post that one. Anyway, it's great that the derangers show that the originals, hashtag Prince Harry and hashtag Meghan, lives rent free in their heads while at the same time admit what we already knew that Prince Harry and Meghan also live rent free in the heads of the copycats. Hashtag Prince William and hashtag Kate Middleton. And as you can see, yes, they are copying Harry and Meghan. My whole thing is you have to have low self esteem to do something like this. And deep, deep rooted insecurities. You have to. And possibly a mental health diagnosis. Because this is insanity. I have never saw a sane person do anything like this. Behave in this manner. These two people act as if they have no personality of their own. It is like that old movie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I mean, they are soul snatchers. They are out trying to actively incorporate someone else's persona and doing it unapologetically. I mean, absolutely shamelessly. And then in return, hate the people that they are stealing from. I'm telling you, that right there is a psychological case study. This squatty said, when even your backs are the blueprint. Where is the lie? Where is it? This squatty said every time William is made to be with Kate outside for more than an hour being watched in public, he always needs the kids to sit in between them, and voila, they are trotting them out to the games. The kids' first time in Scotland. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yes, that is true. You watch it. He rarely sits next to Kate, and when he does, you could fit a whole person in between them. I'm just saying, Squatty has a point. And I want to post this. This is from Henry VIII, and she posted an article coming by way of the fail. And of course, it is about the cancer card. And now that the fail has written in its pages about how the squad do not believe that Kate had performative cancer, well, she is getting a little apprehensive about continuing to play the cancer card. So the new strategy is to get her relatives and her friends to play the cancer card for her. And up next to play the cancer card for Kate is her drug-addled, former drug addict, Uncle Gary. Yes, and Henry VIII is posting about this, and she posted the article from the fail, and the title of the article is My Brush with Death and How a Stern Talking To from My Sister Carol Made Me Change My Ways. Why Kate's naughty Uncle Gary finally gives up partying after being awestruck by the princess's brave cancer battle. Now, let me get this right. They want us to believe, allegedly, that Uncle Gary was using drugs, beating on women, and pissing on the streets. But when he saw Kate and her battle with performative cancer, he gave all of that up. These people need to stop. They need to stop. Now, I'm not saying that he is not on the wagon. I have no idea what this man is doing in his day to day, but I do know what he has done in his past. And let me tell you, if anybody close to Megan, I mean, it could be her garbage man. If he had behaved like Kate's Uncle Gary, we would have weeks and weeks and weeks of articles saying that Meghan Markle's garbage man is drug addicted, he beats his wife, and he pisses on the street. I'm not lying. That's exactly the way it would go down. Henry VIII said they are laying it on thick. Then there is whatever the fresh hell is this. Yes, it is the fresh hell. They have to keep that cancer card being played, and they know that they cannot allow Kate to continue to play it. So now they're branching off to family and friends. And Gary was up. It was his turn at bat. And this squatty reposted Henry VIII and said, oh my God, I just said this was going to happen. I said once the emotional support pole fails to get any traction, they will bring up Kitty's cancer. Yep. I wonder who's next. I'm sure we got an article coming out about Kitty's cancer from her mom or her dad. Now, it won't be Pippa because Pippa is done. She absolutely is. We hadn't saw Pippa since what? Winter of 1948. And this squatty said, you would think Kate Middleton was born between June 21st and July 22nd and not in January, considering how frequent cancer comes up with her name. Yeah, she's not a cancer. She's feigning cancer. Yeah. Now, this post from this squatty is very, very interesting. Listen to it. This squatty said, so this is how they spin the narrative. Kate, who lied about climbing the three peaks with the helicopter and Range Rover at hand, now claims that the 1,000 to 2,000 pounds given to the charity was her donation and not what was raised. Yes, you heard it right. The narrative has shifted from her raising this amount of money to her donating this amount of money. Now, y'all tell me what y'all think, but I don't see how she is coming out of this situation looking good either way. Because if this money was raised, like she said at first, it doesn't look good because she is the future Queen Dumb as a Rock, the second most popular royal, and she can't raise 2,000 pounds? That's not a good look. And on the other hand, if she donated the money, she looks cheap because she is married to a billionaire, future King Dumb as a Rock. And she is the future Queen Dumb as a Rock. And you only donated less than $2,000? That's not a good look. Not at all. Especially when figures are being tossed around out here on these internet streets that it costs over $50,000 for her to do this three-peak challenge. So you telling me you spent $50 million to do the challenge and only donated to the hospital less than $2,000? You could have just donated the $50,000 you were going to spend on this challenge to the hospital and stayed your butt at home. But instead, you spent $50,000 and gave the hospital less than $2,000.
No, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I could not, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think of this in the comments. I'm just going to start over and read it from the beginning. It says, so this is how they spin the narrative. KKK, who lied about climbing the three peaks with a helicopter and Range Rover at hand, now claims that the 1,000 to 2,000 pounds given to the charity was her donation and not what was raised. With all of hers and Bully Boy's free billions of pounds, that in itself is an embarrassment, but also note that the amount that they claim was raised separate to her alleged donation has not been disclosed. Liars. And as for her donation and the amount that she raised, I think they are one in the same. Kate ain't raised no money. Nobody has given Kate any money except Willie. And I bet she had to raise double hockey sticks to get that little $2,000. Yes, because I believe he holds those purse strings tight. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. And this squatty said, if true, then it's almost as embarrassing. Kate is part of a billionaire royal family who's claiming to have donated only 1,000 to 2,000 pounds, whilst Prince Harry donated over 1.5 million to children in need last year from his personal account. Yes, it is embarrassing. But I don't believe Kate has much say-so in anything. She definitely do not have any say-so when it comes to finances because she did not bring money into the marriage. And because of that, She has to take what William gives her. And from what I see, he doesn't give her very much. And I don't believe he cares anything about Kate. He definitely does not love her. And this picture is proof of that. It is no man who loves his wife would have allowed her to go out in public looking like this, with piles on piles on piles on piles of hair on top of her head. She looks like Chewbacca from the Star Wars trilogy. You cannot tell me that Willie loves his wife. He did not say anything when she came out looking like this. It is absolutely embarrassing. The amount of hair that Kate has piled on her head, and Willie stood there, smiled, and took the picture. That tells me that he is not living with her. Because if he was living with her and she came out of the bedroom dressed like that with that piles and piles and piles of hair on her head, if he loved her, he would have said something. He said nothing. He went on to the engagement. Well, I'll say he met her at the engagement and absolutely stood there beside her and took the picture and let her be the fool because she looks like a fool in this picture. And it tells me that nobody loves Kate. It's nobody. Nobody in her life cares enough, loves her enough, is protective of her enough to save her from herself. And this squatty said exactly, shame on both her and the rest of her whole family, including the king, especially William, and the rest of the so-called senior working royals. Bet the rags know this, but won't say anything yet have the audacity to besmirch the Sussexes whenever they do anything nice to help people. Exactly. Well, they did report that it was between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds that was raised for her three-peak challenge. And now she's saying that she donated that money. And the rags are kind of keeping that hush hush. So this squatty definitely has a point. And this squatty right here went in and said, wank, horizon de entree. I think that's French, so I know I didn't say it right. But I digress. It says, is to con the public, and it is why I have so much contempt for them. Their lies, their laziness, and the use of PR to elevate themselves and hide their ineffectiveness is a masterclass in saying that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The alleged three-peak climb by Kate was carefully orchestrated using a renowned cancer charitable organization to fuel her PR. And I said this earlier. If Kate really cared about this cancer charity, she would have gave the money that she used to pay for this three-peak challenge. All those body doubles, all of those helicopters, all of the Range Rovers that she used. And like I said, the estimate is over $50,000. She would have donated that money to the cancer charity. But it never was about the cancer charity. It was always about her and getting the good PR. Yes, trying to make the papers, trying to go viral, trying to outdo Megan. But I digress. It goes on to say, Bully Boy is still charging charities exorbitant rent, profiteering from the very people that they are funded to serve. The extent their greed and their callousness beggar to believe. With no shame, they continue to attack the Sussexes, the only ones who actually work and support communities. Where is the lie? They are all performative. And if you didn't already know that, you should know it now because this right here is a receipt. Kate could have gave all that money she spent on her PR stunt to the cancer hospital charity, but she chose not to. She chose to spend the money to promote herself. And this, Squatty said, a YouTuber described Kate and her manipulated pictures as a facade of uselessness and nothingness. I thought she nailed the description as Kate proves time and time again that she is so vacuous and has nothing within her to give to the role she pretends to play. Where is the lie? Where is it? Kate has nothing to give to the role of the Queen of the United Kingdom, just like the one who is sitting on the throne today. The horse has nothing to give, and neither does Kate. It says more about the men who chose them than the women who were chosen. I mean, can you imagine? These two women are absolutely, how did this YouTuber describe Kate? Uselessness and nothingness. Yes, that is Kate, and it also is the horse. And I want to put this up. This is an article written by Emily Andrews. And this is the title of the article. It says Prince William and Kate Middleton's crisis talks after Harry and Meghan's triumph. I mean, this is so psycho to me. Why are they having crisis talks? And why do they feel that they are in a crisis? Why? And why is Meghan and Harry's win in any way have anything to do with them? Why do they feel that Harry and Meghan's triumph is some kind of reflection on them? Why? I don't get it. It is just trying to get me to understand 2 plus 2 equals 5. Because these people, the way they talk is so illogical. Now, this is what it says. It says, as the dust settles after the Sussex circus leaves the UK, William and Kate host serious conversations, reveal royal editor Emily Andrews. First of all, I want to say this. Harry and Meghan did not bring the circus. The circus was already in town when Harry and Meghan got there. But I digress. What are they talking about when they say crisis? What are they talking about? I mean, it makes no sense. Why do these two people think that everything that Harry and Meghan does has something to do with them? I mean, Harry and Meghan are just living their lives. It has nothing to do with them. That is the problem. They think that they are the center of the universe, when in actuality, they're nowhere close to the center. But for some reason, they really think that they are in a competition with Harry and Meghan. Harry said it early on in Spare that Willie is in a one-sided competition. And I find it just lunacy that this man continues to compete with his brother who is just living his life. I mean, can you imagine how miserable Willie is? That is the reason why he is walking around blowing fire out of his nose and being so incandescent with rage, because he lives and breathes this one-sided competition he has with his brother. He is not living in the moment in his own life. He is too busy watching and trying to be a part of Harry's. Squatty that posted this article from Emily Andrews said Willie and Kate continues to self-traumatize by living in a state of constant PR crisis. It's pathetic. Every time Prince Harry and Meghan attends a humanitarian event or travel for one, make a business outing or announcement, or even seen walking their dog, Wank goes into crisis mode. Where is the lie? I mean, come on now. Is it really that serious? It seems like it's really that serious. And that is the reason I have said time and time again, Harry needs to keep his head on the swivel because it's something seriously wrong with Willie and Kitty as well. And this squatty posted that same article and said Emily Andrews isn't even hiding the briefing by Kensington Palace and William's camp. Today's message, William has no power, but he wants you to know he strongly objects to Charles reconnecting with Harry. Every day brings more evidence of the jealous older brother allegations. Who is this person that he is so jealous to the point where he doesn't even want his brother to have a relationship with the father that he hates himself and do not speak to and live in the same country? And this last squatty that posted this article said, that's funny, especially coming from one of William and Kate's top cheerleaders. The Sussexes make them feel so average in everything. Exactly. That right there is why they are mad with Harry and Meghan. They make up all of these elaborate excuses for their jealousy and envy. Harry and Meghan stirs the demons in their spirit because they're jealous. They're jealous of their family. Willie is jealous of Harry's wife. He is jealous of the freedom that he has. He is jealous, jealous, jealous. And can you imagine trying to live with this man? Kate wanted this life and now she has it. I bet you when they left the Commonwealth Games, he went straight to his own place. I bet Kate rarely sees him, and I bet the children even see him less than that. My guess is that he is not very present in those children's lives. He is not present because he is absolutely being eaten up by jealousy. And this is going to be my last story, but I had to include it. This was in People. And let me tell you, I saw in the comments one of our readers call People magazine People Ragazine, and it is a rag because look at what it is putting out to its readers. And it puts this garbage out every hour on the hour. And this particular hour, how Princess Diana was really the one behind grandson Prince George going to Eton College. How did Princess Diana manage that? And she has been dead for 30 years. These people, the nonsense, and you can absolutely see the fingerprints of Kensington Palace all over this story. How do I know? Look at George's hair. They have George's hair red in this picture. George has light to dark brown hair. He doesn't have red hair, but he does in this story. And they put him right next to Diana, which I have no problem with. Diana is his grandmother. I don't have any problem with that, but I do have a problem with them trying to make him a redhead. Now, that right there is ridiculous. And Zanny Sussex posted this and said, poor Princess Diana, she has been gone for 29 years, and yet she's still being wheeled out for me PR stunt by her sociopathic elder son and his narcissistic wife. Indeed, that's all I can say. SK said the desperation has hit critical levels. Now they got a dead woman picking schools for her grandkids she never even got a chance to meet. Now that right there is the sad part. Diana should be here to really help pick George's school. but not to be used as PR to prop up the whales. I mean, Diana has been used in life and in death. Any given time, you'll see an article in one of those rags about Diana. They're still using her 30 years later. And for her son to participate in that nonsense, how disgraceful. And this squatty reposted SK and said, I am aghast at how William desperately tries to cling to Diana when he's done everything to silence her and erase her spirit. Nothing he does, you can tell, is Diana shining through, unlike Harry. William is a Windsor through and through, and a user, just like the Windsor. He uses his own mother. Now, I'm not saying he didn't love his mother. I'm not saying that. I believe he did love his mother. And that is going to show when he becomes king, because the minute Charles blows out that last breath, get on the podium, hold his ticket out to get punched, and get on board the train to glory, William is going to show his true colors and how he feels about Camilla. He is absolutely going to pack every rag of hers and put them in boxes, paper boxes, and drag them out to the curb himself. And he is going to put Camilla and all of her shit on the side of the road. The minute that Charles is lowered to the tombs, the minute that they break that stick and the new reign begins officially and he is king, he is going to do one of those cartoon kicks. You know, the kind that they have their foot going in a circle and all of a sudden, boom, and the person goes flying. That is going to be Camilla. He is literally going to kick her to the curb. I mean, over palace walls, and she will land on the curb. Because he is going to be done with her. He is going to treat her like Charles treated Angela Kelly. Charles made Angela Kelly get her rags and get out, never to be seen or heard from again. I don't know what Angela Kelly did to Charles, but Charles behaved like Martin on that sitcom. Charles told Angela Kelly, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Yeah, and she got the hell out of there. She did. Charles was not tolerating her. I think the problem that Charles had with Angela Kelly is the same problem that he has with Clive Alderson. Angela Kelly was the Queen's dresser, Queen Elizabeth II's dresser and confidant. And I really think that she got to the point where she thought she was bigger than the program. Just like Clive. And just like Angela Kelly, Clive has to get the stepping. One thing that these two individuals have learned, and the horse will soon learn, is that nobody, and when I say nobody, nobody is bigger than the program. And this squatty reposted SK and said, no way is this normal journalistic behavior in a normal country, is it? A woman who died nearly 30 years ago managed to choose a school for Prince George, even though she didn't know about him as he wasn't yet born at the time. This country is bloody bonkers. Yes, it is, but People magazine is an American publication, and America is crazy too. And SK came back again and said, Jesus, they are struggling for this Diana relationship since the Sussexes visited Althorpe. That's exactly what it is. And it's those babies as well. They're redhead. They look like Spencers. That is the reason why they have George with red hair in this post. And let's not forget when Lily was getting so much attention for her hair, Kate showed up with reddish brown hair. And y'all remember the time where she colored Princess Charlotte's hair? Yes, made it like a dark strawberry blonde. Y'all remember that? Yes, and it's all because of Lily's hair, and Lily was getting so much attention for her red hair. Anything for attention. Y'all know I love to end on a positive note, so I am going to end with Harry will have all the fun. And what he posted, it says they thought they could break her as they have broken so many others. They expected her to crumble under the pressure, to retreat, to disappear. Instead, she refused to be silent. Every attack, every lie, every smear only proved her point that the institution that she left is one that cannot tolerate an independent woman, cannot stomach a woman of color who will not bow, cannot accept that she is free. Where's the lie? Y'all know I always love spending time with y'all, and I will be back soon. And if you want to support the channel, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just look below, click the three dots if you're on a computer, and there you will find the super thanks and maybe even the hype button. If you hadn't used all your hypes this week, please use one on this particular podcast. Hype it up so it can reach more people so we can grow our tribe. And also, if you want to be a part of the reading club, the link is below as well. And if you're watching on your television, just click my picture, then click join and follow the prompts. And other ways to support the channel is in my bio. I have Buy Me a Coffee, I have Zelle, I have PayPal. And if you don't want to support on YouTube, you can scurry on over to patreon.com/the Royal Read. I have a reading club over there as well, or you could just join for free and keep up with what your girl is finding here on these internet streets that I can't post over here on the YouTube. So yes, I post over there all the time. And it's very easy to become a member over on Patreon. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.